All right, guys, so to get started, we have two different types of grease. We have the Mobil 1 synthetic grease.
And we have the Mobil Grease X HP 322 Mine.
Okay, so this one. Now there's two different types of grease for one reason.
Yeah.
There's your spider joint and there is your slip yoke. Okay, and in the slip yoke, you need heavier, or you should use heavier duty grease. And then this is again for the spider joint.
Yeah.
Now, I may or may not, and it's gonna be a call when I'm actually working on the car, I may or may not use two different greases. And the reason is that Toyota, if you read the manual, and I'll put that up on the screen, you can use the one without the moly content, right? You can use this grease, the Mobil 1 synthetic grease, on all the joints if you choose, right? And because I only have one grease gun, and I don't really feel like dealing with two messy ones, you know, I may be able to do it. We'll see. It'll be a spur of the minute call. Also, this is already going to be primed, so there's going to be a bunch of grease in here. I'm going to have to get all that out, which is not a big deal, but still to swap the grease. So the cartridge that I'm going to load right now is going to be the Mobil 1, because obviously this can, if I do decide to do that, be used on all the different joints. All right, to load this, obviously you just unscrew the cap, and then you're gonna pull this all the way back, right? This latch. There may be a lock here, so just, you know, if you have to mess with it the first time to get it to pull back, then go ahead and do that. So, I'm gonna go ahead and pull this back all the way, okay? Now it's ready. This is the release right here. Obviously, I'm not gonna press that. You're gonna take the cap off of this, and this end, the end with the cap on it, is actually gonna go straight in here. When I take this cap off, you will see red grease. And the reason I like the red grease, there are others, it doesn't necessarily have to be red. But the good thing about the red grease is once I pump all of it in, on the spider joints, when the grease fills in until the old grease comes out, and it bleeds out, whatever, I can see the black dirty grease and I can see the clean red grease. So I like that. It should be all the way in. All right, so that's done. I'm gonna pull this cap off now. Okay, this cap actually comes off really easily. Then this. So I'm gonna put my cap on. I have to get the air out of it. Okay. Now when you release it, it goes all the way back in. All right.
Ooh.
The line has to be primed first. All right. So my grease gun is ready to go. All right. That's it. Ready to go. By the way, the grease gun that I got is the Lumax LX 1152. 1152. All right, we're ready to go. So real quick orientation, this is the front of your car. You see your side view mirror there. There's your rear wheel. Let's go under the car. Okay, so when I go to the under of the car, again, as orientation, the rear of your car is there. You can see this exhaust manifold. That is the rear left wheel, the driver's side rear wheel. Okay? This here, this is your propeller shaft. Okay? And you'll see that it goes back all the way to your rear differential. And then, the more tricky part is the front portion. So again, here's your propeller shaft for the rear. Okay, it hooks up to your gearbox. And here, there's one inside here, one of the points that you need to grease right there. Okay? Right there. Then you move up a little bit. there's some points that are going to be there. This is again just to orient you. Once we start working, you'll be able to better see exactly what we're working on. One of the other things that we're going to talk about are zerk fittings, what they are, how they work. Okay? Alright, so down there is the rear differential, right there. Okay, this is the propeller shaft running up here. And what we're about to do, or what we're gonna do, is we're gonna refill the grease in here and in there. Now this is gonna fill this joint right here, okay? The slip yoke, and in there, that is the spider joint that we're gonna fill with that one. Okay, let me just focus on that one. There we go. On that one, okay? Toyota allows you to fill, and this is in the owner's manual. I'll show this to you because I'm sure a lot of people will disagree, but it's in the Toyota manual. You can put the same grease in both, okay? The lithium-based grease, and I'll show that on the screen in a bit. But I have both greases. I have actually a different grease, the one with higher moly content for the slip yoke. That is more like an industrial strength kind of thing. And I have the one that is for just the basic lithium-based one, the mobile one, synthetic, to go in here, the spider joint, okay? This here, you don't want to overfill, okay? Because if you overfill that, then your ability, what your car needs to do is to be able to contract here, okay, when the differential is moving up and everything, up and down and stuff, okay? If you mess that up, then you can lock this up, and I guess it's called hydro lock. You don't want to do that. So we're only gonna put like 3-4 pumps in here, all right? And then on the spider yoke, spider joint, we're gonna fill that up until the grease starts to come out, right? We're gonna push out all the old grease, and we're gonna make sure that we have fresh, new grease in there, okay? So the reason I'm telling you that right now is I have no idea if I'm gonna be able to record this and hold the, fill the grease at the same time, so we'll see. All right, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and start pumping some grease in here. We are gonna do this one here first, okay? And the reason I'm doing that one first is the grease that I have in my gun right now is the grease that is meant for the spider joint, which that one is. Let me just grab my towel real quick. Okay.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe we're doing this.
First things first, you want to get all of the grease and dirt and grime and everything off of your fittings that's already there, right? You don't want that to go inside. Okay, and you'll see, I'll explain later how a zerk fitting works, but there's basically a bearing right here, and when we put the grease on there, it'll push the bearing back and allow the grease to go in. Now, it's very, very tight in here, so hopefully the lighting stays good throughout, but may or may not. Looks like we got some grease coming out.
Oh yeah, I can see the blood's coming out.
I'm literally not even counting because I'm gonna keep going until all the old grease is out. And it looks like it might be.
Keep going.
Alright guys, so sorry the video got cut off there for a second, but anyway, I pretty much feel like I've got all the old grease out. All my red grease is coming out now. So it looks pretty good. I think that's pretty much it. Old grease is out, new grease is in. I'm gonna pop this off. I'm gonna take all that grease off of there.
Yeah, probably.
Sorry. All right, and you can see all my red grease that has come out. Sorry, stay back, please.
Yep.
Okay. And so I'm just gonna grab a towel real quick. All right. And I'm gonna try to wipe as much of this off as possible, because if I don't, it is gonna end up everywhere. Pretty sure I'm just gonna stick with using the same grease everywhere, because I just do not have the time to deal with.
I'm not gonna use the slip yoke grease.
Anyway, so we did this one. We're gonna pump 3 into here right now, okay? And that is pretty much all. Okay, so let's grab this thing here real quick. It won't be as hard for you because I'm trying to hold the camera, a light, and the pump, and pump the pump. So it's kind of difficult. Okay, and 3 pumps. That's it. I'm not gonna do 4 because I saw how much came out earlier, and I think that's good enough. Okay, so pull this back out. All right, that's it, guys. I put the same grease into here as I did there. I just didn't feel like dealing with both, so I only did 3 pumps here. I did as many here as it took to get all the dirt back out of there. All right, and I got quite a bit of dirt out of there. I'm gonna do the same thing just up here on the front. So we just did this one here. Okay, we're moving up here, right there. Now this one is hard to do because of all of that. Okay, there's all this stuff underneath it. You have to reach up with your hand to get in there. Now I'm gonna try to show you that by holding this camera at opposite angle. Okay, try to keep the light there without blocking the light. Okay, have to go all the way in there to reach it. Now the good thing is, since it's the front differential, it's a 4-wheel drive, by the way, right? So the front differential is not connected because it's not in 4-wheel drive. So I can just spin this freely, which makes it easier to try to get in on it. But it is gonna be a pain. I have to put my hand all the way in there. I have to get the pipe in there, and then I have to clean it. That's gonna be the hard part, cleaning it. So I'm not gonna be able to film this part of it, but I'll show you the aftermath in a second. The middle portion here was extremely difficult, and I'll explain why a little bit later, but this is the front. The front should be very easy. Again, just like I did in the earlier parts, it's not going to be that easy to film it, but you know, I'm gonna try this real quick. It's very hard to do this. Alright, so it's attached.
Wait, are you
One
pumping?
pump. 2 pumps. It's already grease coming out.
What? I can't see any.
3 pumps. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a lot of dirty grease coming out. I know, guys, that these are really bad angles. I'm sorry, but I gotta get this down. It's late. You see all that dirty grease coming out? You see a bit of pink coming out now?
What? It is pink, yeah.
Yeah, it's starting to.
I guess stop now since our new grease is coming out now. Stop now, I guess.
Yeah, it is, but I just want to make sure I get all the old out. And it looks like I got everything out, okay? So I don't know if you guys are able to see that, but you see all that pink grease coming through? That means the other grease is coming out, which is fantastic. That's exactly what I want. All right, now the challenge on the other one was, first off, trying to get this fitting off from the angle that it was. That was a real pain. I was finally able to do it. And then the other problem is trying to clean all of that over there. Remember that there's a little cover. Okay, I'm sorry. There's a little cover underneath, right? So it makes it really hard. Anyway, so this one, the front one was really easy. The back one, the rear one was really easy. In the middle, that's where you're gonna have some a tough time. All right. So let me know if you have any questions. Thanks. All right, guys. So that's it. Have more paper towels or microfiber cloth or whatever you're going to use to wipe down afterwards. Have more of it than you think that you need, because it actually, once you get some grease on it and you try to reuse that paper towel or that towel, it kind of gets spread out even more in other places. So a zerk fitting is basically a screw that's on where all your grease goes, all right, on your spider joint, etc. And what it does is it has a spring loaded, so this is your zerk fitting. It has a spring loaded bearing up front. And what it does when you attach your grease gun, it will apply pressure from all the grease coming in, and it will push that bearing back, and it will allow the grease to enter your joint, okay? Then when you take off the grease gun, all that pressure obviously releases and the spring pushes the bearing right back into place. That's what a zerk fitting is. And that's pretty much it. And I apologize again for the way that the video is, the quality of the angles and everything. When you're down there and I'm holding the light and I'm holding the camera and I'm holding, you know, the grease gun and everything, it's just not easy to get a good angle, so I apologize. All right, if you have any questions, let me know down below, and I'll try to respond to as many as I can. Thanks.